confusing, but they are a little bit bigger. So y'all, on this one, what is the graph of the function? Okay, I'm looking for points, and y'all, thank y'all for my calculator decoration. I've left it on there, and I've been using my calculator with my ribbon. Who did that? Okay, yeah. Anyway, I still was using my calculator with it. So I've got y equals, now I just can't see all these buttons. Okay, and I'm going to type in 3x squared. Okay, and graph it. Now, I knew it was going to start at 0, 0. Oop, that's really skinny. I might press zoom 6. Okay, but you didn't have to. You can go to your table in a second. But that kind of gives me a clear view. There's my parabola. I knew the vertex was at 0, 0 because I didn't move around any. I figured we would go up 3 and over 1. They're just probably fixing that map, hammering.
What is wrong with my dang calculator?
So, did you type in 3x squared and zoom 6? Y equals 3x and then the little square. Press zoom 6. And did it do it yet? Okay, you were just probably in a different window. If it doesn't show up, just always go back to zoom 6. Okay, now let's get some points though. So I will press second graph. Okay, and use some of these. Now I know the middle point was 0, 0. I could just tell by looking at it, and I knew that. So pick a few points. I made the graph with a lot more numbers and a little bit bigger so you could pick several points. So I'm at 0, 0. Over 1 up 3, over -1 up 3. It's really skinny. And then, yeah, I've got enough to do 12. So 2, 12, that's here. And -2, 12, that's here. Okay? There we go, a little skinny parabola. Okay, and if you're worried about, oh, I can't tell where these points are, you could write them if you want to. Like you could come over here, 0, 0, 1, 3, -1, 3, if you wanted me to know for sure, because I know the graph is kind of a little bit different. You do not have to write your points though. Does everybody understand that one? That's it. You graph it on your calculator, transfer it to your paper. Okay? And I have to see at least 3 points. At least I would pick those 3 points, okay? But I like to pick a few more so I can kind of see where it's going. I'll be able to see all this. Okay, everybody got that? Next one. Okay, this one says graph this one. Now, where does it move? I won't even graph it yet. It moves to the left 1 and up 4. You don't have to know that. You can just use your calculator. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the left 1 and up 4. So I know that that's where I need to be at on my table. Okay? So I'll go to y equals and type it in just like they have it. Do they have parentheses? Yes. So what are we going to have? Parentheses, just like that. So I'm going to do parentheses x plus 1. I may have to take my ribbon off. X plus 1 squared. And then what? Plus 4. Graph. And there it is. Look, theirs has moved, it looks like, to the left 1 and up 4. Questions so far? Y'all are quiet. Y'all just taking this all in? So then, what do I do to see my numbers? Second table, second graph. Same button. All right, and here's some of the values. Here's my -1, 4, right there. So I'll do -2, 5, and 0, 5. -2, 5, 0, 5. And if you want to do more, you can. What is that? Does that say 1, 8? Okay, it's a little blurry on my screen. 1, 8, so then I know it would be -3, 8. All right, and then there's my parabola. Is everybody good? Oh, and it does tell me how is the graph translated. So you need to write on there, sorry, left 1, I almost forgot, up 4. Okay? Left 1, up 4. I'll be looking for that.
How do you know which one to start at to do like the
Vertex? Well, there's 2 things you can do. You can go to your table and see where it starts to repeat. So I could tell that was 5 and 5. That one up here would be 8, and that one's 8. So it repeated around -1, 4. Like that. But the best way is right here. That you can tell it's left 1 and up 4, -1, 4. That's the point. Okay? That's what's great about vertex form. On number 1, it didn't move left, right, or up or down. That's how I knew it was going to be a 0, 0. Okay? Or you can just go to your table and scroll around and see, okay, where does it look symmetrical? Where can I tell it's repeating? Is anybody still copying that? No? We got those. All right. So far, are we going to make 100? Sure. I like that. Sure. All right, number 2. All right, this one says, identify the vertex and the axis of symmetry for this graph. You don't even have to graph this one, okay? What is your vertex? Same thing we just did. Okay, this one is left 2 and then what? Down 4. That's your vertex. Wherever it moves, that's where it is. Left 2, down 4. What's your axis of symmetry? The x value, -2. I can always remember it's the x because axis has the letter x, or that's what I think of. Like axis has an x in it, so I'm looking for my x value. Oh, but that's not your answer. I wasn't saying that. Okay, your answer is B. Yeah, it is B. Check all the little things. Check your ordered pair, and then check and make sure you know what your axis of symmetry says. Is everybody good with that one? Not so bad. You didn't even have to do any math. Okay, can I erase it? All right, let's keep going. Number 4. This one you don't even have to use your calculator, but I will. I will show you on the calculator as well. What is your vertex on this one?
+2, -3.
+2, -3. So, do y'all know if it's a max or min? If it's positive out here, and it is, it's going up. So it's a minimum. A minimum, and you use your y value, -3. So not that one, a minimum of -3. Okay, domain is always all real numbers, and range is that. Okay, but if you didn't know it was a minimum, graph it. Let me do that. Okay, so you can look at it and see. So go press y equals and type in x minus 2 squared minus 3. And then if we graph it, then I can tell it's a minimum. All right? So I know, okay, that's a minimum and my y value is -3. All right, are we good with that? Do you want me to find the minimum like I did with the second trace or any of that? No? Okay. I mean, I'm going to do that in a second on a different type. But when they're written in this form, you can just tell. All right? Are we good with that one? Yes, no? All right. I'm guessing yes. Nobody said anything different. Let me move this up and let's look at number 5. All right. Number 5, it says, how does this one transform? Like, where do you move it? So it's moved where? Left 2, down 4. Okay, pretend it had a negative out here. What would you have said? It's flipped or reflected, okay? Because I don't know, it's random, like, so I don't know what it has. What if it had a 2 out here? What would you say? Stretched by 2, okay? But it didn't have anything out there. So that one's just left 2, down 4. Say that you forgot to say one little thing that's just 1 point off, okay? What if it said 1/2 in front of it? Compressed by a factor of 1/2, or just compressed by 1/2, okay?
Wait, how do you know when to say compress or stretch?
Okay, let me start with this. It's stretched if it's a number bigger than 1. So even like -2, I'm ignoring the negative sign. Ignore the negative sign. So if it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, or if it's even 1.5 or whatever, then it is stretched. If it's a number between 0 and 1, it's compressed. Like 1/2, 2/3, 3/4, 0.5, that's a half. But 0.6, that's compressed if it's between 0 and 1.
Yes, sir.
All right, next one, it says pick out, basically you're just picking which one of these equations match that, all right? But the best way to do it is let's just find the vertex first. So it has moved to the right 2, so I would put what? -2, that's either one of those, and then it has moved up 5, okay? So far, does everybody agree that it's either A or B?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's right 2, up 5. Now, let's see. B says I would just go up 1 and over 1 from there. Up 1 and over 1. Does that one work? No. Now, let's just double check A. I'm thinking A would be what? Up 3 and over 1. Up 1, 2, 3 and over 1. There you go. That one works.
So that's stretched by 3.
That's stretched by 3. Yeah. Now you can't use that concept if it's a compression. Like you can't. If that said 1/3, you couldn't go up 1 and over 3. That wouldn't work in that case. If that was the case, just graph it on your calculator, and you could have done that with all of these. You could have graphed these on your calculator to see which one matched. Okay. So it might take a little longer, but that's fine. However long you need. All right, keep going. Do y'all leave after this class, right? Most of y'all tomorrow for the game? Yeah, it's after 30 hours. Okay.
No, they leave at like 10, don't they?
I thought it was 10:45. The calendar I thought said 12:30, but then some people told me 10:45. Plenty of time for you to take the quiz. But they may go get their stuff and load it. I don't know. All right, this one, vertex and axis of symmetry. Here's the problem. We are not in vertex form anymore. Does everybody see that? I cannot just hey, pick it out because I know the numbers, right? This is totally different. So how do you find a vertex when you're given this equation? You have to graph it. And y'all, you could actually, on all those ones we just did, you could graph them to find the vertex, okay? The same way we're about to do these, if you got confused. So I'm going to type in 2x squared plus 16x, minus 4. And I'm going to graph it, and I probably won't see it. Oh, almost see it. I almost see it. Okay. Any questions so far? Do I need to stop for anybody? We're all good? Okay. I can't quite see it, so how about we zoom out? Do y'all want to do that? So press zoom 3. It didn't zoom out yet because I didn't press enter. So you did zoom 3 and enter, and now I zoomed out. That might be the easiest way. Okay, now can you see the vertex? You can. You can see that minimum. Does everybody see it's a minimum? Yeah? So, anyway, how do you find that? You press second trace, that's calculate, second calculate, and we're going to find the minimum. Is everybody good with that? So I'm going to go down to 3. Then what do you do?
Go to the left.
Yeah, so I'm going to scroll over here, go to the left. You don't go up and down. You go to the left. Then you press the right button, enter. Don't forget to press your enter button. Back to it, enter. Press enter every time. And that looks to be at 4, that's in the way, negative 16. Did I get that?
No, I got 4 negative 36.
Oh, it does say negative 36. I just can't see. I was trying to look at it on my computer. It is most definitely 4, negative 36. Negative 4, negative 36. Y'all, I'm sorry, I cannot see on the same. Let me just look at the calculator. So, vertex is negative 4, negative 36. That's almost all these answers. It's A or C. Does everybody see that? Which one's your axis of symmetry again? The axis of symmetry is the what? the x value. What does my x value say? X equals -4. So it is C. Okay, do I need to do that again? I hear lots of little, like, questions. It's not working?
I don't get how you picked up the X. What did I put?
You did, I wonder if, yes. Hannah Catherine, you have a question?
I don't understand how we got the number and
You don't understand, hold on. You don't understand what?
how we got the end answer. Like, we were typing.
Okay, do you see how the vertex, did you get this part on your calculator?
Wait. I got 4.25 and then 35.
Did you press enter?
Yes, ma'am. Like, if I hit enter again, it just goes away.
Let me see.
My calculator's stupid. 2x² plus 16x minus 4. Second trace.
I got it.
You did minimum. Number 3. Oh, wait, no. Go to the left, enter. To the right.
What's your axis of symmetry?
Back 2.
You want to go to
I was looking at
whatever your x
I
value
just-
you have, so that's when you graph it.
graphed it.
And then you find your
Wait, you moved to the right. I mean,
Try it
left.
again. Try it again.
and then you look all 46.
But it's -4, -36, y'all, which is these two answers. Okay, then you have to pick which one is the axis of symmetry. It's the x value, -4. This is totally wrong. X is not -36, that's y. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. So that's why your answer is C. Is everybody good with that somewhat? Some of us are finishing up that problem. Okay. Let me give y'all a second if you're working on it to.
Got it that time.
You did? Okay. Well, look, you're about to try again in a second, Hannah Catherine. So make sure you get this one. Y'all, on this one, what are we going to do for this? Graph it and decide if it's a max or min and find it. So press y equals -2x² plus 8x minus 16. Did y'all already get number 8? Yeah, I figured some of y'all did. I hear y'all talking about it. So you press second trace. Wait, was that a maximum or a minimum? Look at that. Is that a maximum or a minimum? Maximum. So you have to press second trace. You actually have to pick the maximum one. Okay, that matters. And for your answer choices. So you're at the left of it, enter. Scroll to the right a few times, enter. Back to the top. And I get 2 -8. Did y'all get that?
Did you round it? Did you round it?
Yeah, because it's there. It's really, really, really close to 2, right?
Yeah, because mine is
1.99999. Yeah, that sometimes I get that too. So that's fine. It's 2 -8. So now, y'all, we said it was a maximum. So it's either this one or this one. And it was 2 -8. So which one's the maximum?
B.
It's the y value of -8. I'm on number 8 now.
Your window. It was number 8.
Oh.
wait. I'm using the graph.
Okay, that was number 8. Anybody have a question on number 8?
Hold on. Okay, I typed that one. I just graphed it on one.
Oh. Okay, yeah. All you have to do is find the max or min.
You're wrong. I was so confident.
You have to put
No, you are wrong.
So it's always maximum if it goes down.
Yes.
Does it matter where the vertex is?
Well, you have to find the maximum.
I
This is your maximum is your vertex. You have to find the maximum so that you can say what it is. Like on this problem for tomorrow. Okay, and on the one above it. Like you have to actually find the maximum or minimum to find the axis of symmetry. So on both of these problems, 7 and 8, you have to find the max or min, like go to the left, go to the right, go back to it. And if you're looking for axis of symmetry, your answer is the x value. If you're looking for the maximum or the minimum, your answer is your y value. Okay? It's because x takes you left and right. Y value takes you up and down, max and
I
min.
didn't know if it mattered like
which way it was flipped. Like if the point was like down here and it flipped down or up.
No, the only thing for mattering if it's up or down is if when you tell your calculator if it's a minimum or a maximum. Because you have to pick if you're finding the minimum or the maximum. No, that won't affect that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, all that to tell you. Just making sure we're all clear here. Okay, number 9. I think everybody's good with 8. Number 9. Question? What did you say?
I'm good.
Did you ask something?
Okay.
Are you sure? Were you about to ask something? You weren't. You're not lying to me. Okay.
I don't even know where to start asking questions.
You knew this the other day. You had it. You had it. Okay. Number 9. You're just graphing it. So you go to y equals and what? Type it in. And then how do you put that on the paper? How do you go from the graph to your paper? Your table. You got to look at your table of values. That's it. So go to y equals and type it in. So I have x squared plus 2x plus 1. I'm going to zoom 6. Did I do that right? X squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, making sure. So there's my graph. What you cannot do tomorrow, because I will not accept it, is this right here. I have people do it every year. Like, what are your points? Like, what is that? Okay, you can't do that. I need to see at least 3 points. Does that make sense, everybody? This is like made up. I just tried to draw a picture. Might as well draw a smiley face on here, okay? Yes.
What is that thing? It's saying error.
Did you put, for this one,
This calculator's not.
what did you put this equation in?
What?
Okay, go back to it. Did you press X and then the square button? Or the up, and the 2, and then plus 2x
You go under type?
plus 1. Press zoom 6.
We get you plug 8 in the X.
After I have graphed it?
Nope, just press zoom 6 because you must have, I don't know what. I mean, usually you can hit the graph button, but there may be something wrong with, so you can always just go back to zoom 6.
So,
It must have been your window. Just press zoom, is it working now?
yes, ma'am. But it just kept saying error.
It had to have been your window. If you'll press zoom 6 instead of graph sometimes, that'll make sure, okay, start over. Let's graph this from the beginning.
How do I know that my window's open?
Well, press zoom 6 every time, and if you can't see it, zoom out. Zoom 3, okay? Because you don't know. I don't know most of the time. When I went to graph that, I mean, I assumed it would be in there, but I have no idea where it's going to be. And then I'll just zoom out. Okay, so this one, sorry y'all, now we got to go from our calculator to paper. So the way to do that is to find these actual ordered pairs. Where do I find ordered pairs at? Second graph, at the table. Okay, so where does it look like the vertex was? Does anybody know where the vertex was? Well, like, look, if I look right here, oops, I didn't mean to press that. It looks like we've moved over 1. I'm not sure, but let's look at my table. Does it repeat around the -1? It does. Okay, do y'all see what I mean by repeat? If I start here, what happens right here? 1, 4, 9, it's symmetrical. So this right here is my starting point. That's my vertex. Okay, or you can kind of just look at your graph and tell where it is. So -1, 0, that's right here. Then what? 0, 1, -2, 1. And you could stop there and just graph, okay? It may look crazy up here. I'm going to graph one more. -3, 4. And that's got to be 1, 4. It is. Okay, so there's my graph. Does that make sense, y'all? Can y'all see where my points are? Yes? Then I need to see where your points
So
are.
we have to write out on the side -1, 0. Like
You do not have to write anything out. Hey, as long, Mary Claire, as long as I see where they are.
Okay.
Like, I can clearly see what your points are if you actually put points. But if you just drew through those points, I can't tell. Like, just make dots.
calculate.
5.
Is everybody okay on number 9?
So,
I got 2 left.
do the
2
equation.
left.
Okay, and then you put the equation and do not equal, and then graph it, then you go with the reference value for 8.
Everybody
Or
good?
for whatever
You
Everybody-
don't have, you don't have to graph it if you don't want to.
You can just plug
You
it
can
in.
just plug A in into the.
Are y'all ahead of me?
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's fine. I was just curious. What y'all. All right. Oh, vertex form. Here we go. I haven't done this one in a while. I might have forgotten. Y'all may have to teach me this one. So, what is my? I do know. Here, let me just write out vertex form first of all. It's a x plus h squared minus k. This is basically an x and a y. Okay. But anyway, we don't think of it that way. H and k. So first of all, do y'all remember how we find? Well, this is ABC. That's 1, 12. What is C? That is negative 10. Okay? So you can find your x value by doing what? X equals, do y'all remember that little formula? Or negative b over 2a. Yeah, so you were saying it. So that was just a formula I memorized. Or you could graph it and find the vertex. Is that what y'all did?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that second. I will do that one too. This is how I taught it. This is how I taught it. Okay. So, and you will have to use this later in this chapter. Like after we'll do a mid-chapter test, we will see this again. Negative b is negative 12 over, y'all paying attention? 2 times a, 2 times 1. What is that? It is negative 6. Everybody good with that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What's your question?
Can you redo it but slower?
Yeah. Okay, negative b over 2a is just my formula. That's your x value. That's one day we spent and I taught that. Your x value for vertex form, it's negative b over 2a. Yes, I'm going to show you a second way to do this in a second.
You have to redo it.
Eventually, yes, because we'll use this. Okay.
Scared. Tuition.
What? See? No, it didn't. You go to the left and down.
See this thing?
Yeah.
You guarantee on this test. On the quiz because it's a guarantee on this on the quiz because I'm going to 6 and 5.
Just graph it.
But it, no, even though you graph it, it still comes out as -6,
It's
-46.
she did the opposite thing as me because I accidentally switched the 46.
So just graph it and then you see where the bottom of your thing is and like, it's left. So
No,
inside
left,
parentheses,
no.
it's gotta be plus.
Yeah.
That's where I screwed up at.
Yeah.
But the one thing is, I circled the notes.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I hope I don't talk about anybody because it was still recording.
I thought math, I was gonna get one wrong.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to go back and listen to it, but sometimes people forget I'm recording and they'll be talking about somebody else.
Charlie.
Huh?
Oh, you're
That's
talking
you?
about the same.
No, just next week's plans. Okay. Now, no, it happens every year. Somebody talked about somebody's girlfriend one time. And when I had stepped, and then I was like, y'all know that thing's been running? Y'all been talking about your girlfriend? So, anyway, I posted it. Anyway, imagine that geometry video. I got so many. I'm just kidding. I have almost 700 views on my geometry midterm review. I know, is that crazy? No. Okay. Anyway, so
Poor people.
I know. I'm like, who chooses to watch this? No, I don't know. It's a lot.
You don't watch it.
Huh?
You don't
Huh?
air it.
No, but I don't let people can't like comment because I don't want people commenting on things I say. Or, you know, I'm just like, it's all for kids.
You should.
So they can't like it. They can't, because I have students that they're like, I tried to dislike your videos, and so I don't think it lets them do any of that. So, whatever. Okay.
She won't accept the hate.
Yeah, I won't. I'm just like, nope, away with you. Okay. Now, x equals negative b over 2a. That is just our formula. Mary Claire, I'm back for your problem. Sorry. Now, your b is the second number, the one with the x, which is what? 12. So I'm going to write my negative sign and my 12. And I'm going to show you an easier way in a second. Well, maybe easier. Then it's 2 times a. That's 2 times, that's an understood point. So 2. So what's 12 divided by 2? 6. But it is a negative 6. Okay? Are we good with that? So I know I've got a negative 6 there. Then what do I do? My x is negative 6. Now I have to find a y value. How would you find your y? And I know my a is 1. Do y'all know how I know my a is 1 over here? Because this has a understood 1. So this one's going to have an understood 1. Okay? Now then, let me see something real quick on here before I say it. Okay, so I have, I should have said x minus h squared plus k. Why didn't somebody say that? Because y'all don't know. Y'all didn't put it though. X minus h squared plus k. That's so much better. Okay, now this is always backwards. So for this one, I was like, why is this not matching up? That has a negative 6. What happens with a minus and negative? It turns to a positive. So I can already tell it's one of these two answers. I already narrowed it halfway down. How do you find the y value though? So I'm going to erase this and I'm going to put my plus 6. How do I find, or not my y value, they use the k. How do you find k? Well, if I know my x, could I just plug it in and find my y value? Yeah. So let me do that. I would have negative 6 squared plus 12 times negative 6 minus 10. So I would have 36 minus, what is that, 72 minus 10, and that's going to be which one? D. D. Did y'all get D? Now do y'all want to see their way that they did it faster? And maybe easier? Yeah? Okay. Anyway, it's D. That's how I did it. I used a little formula, found my x, plugged it in, found my y. Their way, alright, forget that. Let's just graph it. So go press y equals and type it in. It's x squared plus 12x minus 10. And if you graph it, I cannot see it, so I'm going to zoom 3. Oh, almost. I'm going to go zoom 3 again. So is everybody with me on that part? Yes, no, we're good? I just graphed it. So now let's find that vertex. How do you find the vertex? What is that, a maximum or a minimum? So you press second, calculate, minimum. You go to the left, you go to the right, and you go back to it. And what is your minimum value? Oh, I can't. Negative 6, it's kind of blurry, negative 46. So let me write that down. Negative 6, negative 46. So if I write that with my x, it becomes a plus 6 and then a minus 46. Was that so much easier? Mary Claire, did you get that?
Yes.
Was that so much easier? Okay. So that's fine, do that tomorrow. But I did want y'all familiar with the little equation because we are going to have to suffer through some of that. Okay? Later. After your mid-chapter test. That's next week. All right, last question, number 11. Sorry, I know I feel like I'm taking forever to get this done. How do y'all do this one?
Put it in.
Yep, let the calculator do it all. You press stat. We're going to enter in these statistics. So let's edit. And I've got 0 through 6. I've already got those in there. Now I'm going to put in 550, 561, and keep going. Put all these in. Okay. After you do that, press stat and then what? Calculate. And what type of equation does it want? It says, yeah, find a quadratic regression or quadratic equation or something. Anyway, and then I'll just let it calculate it. Do that for me. So it's 33x squared minus 22x plus 550. The only problem is there's two answers that match that, right? So it tells me to look for week 8. So you can do this two ways. You can just plug in 8. Do y'all want to do that? Or do y'all just want to graph it and look at the table? So, okay, so if I go to my graph and I'll type it in, 33x squared minus 22x plus 550. Well, I'm not even going to graph it, okay? I don't want to look at, I'm just going to go to my table. Table, and I'm looking for the what number? 8. Oh, there it is. And what is it? 2486. 2,486. Is that, do we get that?
Wait.
Okay, I'll do that again if you need me to. Were y'all in here when they did that like thing through the phones yesterday? Y'all in here? Did it do anything on the board? On the computer?
Yeah.
It didn't do it on the computer.
It didn't do it on either one of those. Okay, I was just curious because I thought it said that it was, but
But it did it on my phone.
yeah, it did our phones too. I was just curious if it did
It scared me out there.
electronic device. I know, me too a little bit, and I knew it was coming, you know,
Wow.
still.
I don't remember when they announced it, like
What it was, yeah.
They
It
did
said
it like 2
it
minutes
said
early.
120, but it did it like 118.
Oh, okay.
Mr. James was a little-
Hannah Catherine, did you need me to go over that? Okay, but all right, hold on. Let me end this video real quick.